You can, is it better for him to sit or stand? You can stand. You can stand up and you can direct your question.
Not exactly. If you remember the story, man was in the garden, and I gave man one commandment. They could eat anything they wanted in the garden. They could eat of any tree, all the fruit. All was liberty. Except for there was this one tree I didn't want them to touch. The tree called the knowledge of good and evil. They could have anything else, but there was this one tree that they should not touch. And that was the word of God. Eve, you will remember, would come to the garden day after day, in and out. And she would look at that tree, and one day a serpent was found there and seduced her to come and take of this tree, asking questions and confusing her. And when she chose to eat of the tree, she became disobedient, and at that point, died, separated. No, she made a choice. Eve and man made a choice.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that answer. And I have another question from the audience. Did you have a question? Would you please stand? And you can direct your question to Jesus, okay?
So what you're trying to say is that whatever
this is Satan.
That Satan was on your side once, so you would never lose.
Satan, who was once called Lucifer, means the beautiful lighted one. He was once a very loyal servant of mine. Satan led all the music and all the worship in heaven. And all the angels would worship when Lucifer would lead the songs. When I created him, he had pipes within him of diamonds and of beryl and onyx that would actually vibrate and create a beautiful music like your ears have never heard here on earth. A loyal subject of mine. But because of the beauty I'd given him, because of the light, that's what Lucifer means, the lighted one. Because of the light that I put inside of him, in some way, sin and evil was found in him, pride was found in him, and he began to want to sit in the seat of God, and has wanted to get subjects all through history who would make the same kind of vows. I want to be like God. I want to have my way instead of his way. And that has been the story of human history.
We have another question here, sir. Do you have a question?
Why didn't you just destroy Satan when he went to the garden and lied to Eve?
Can I say something here, Oprah? Well, excuse me. Sit down. I know you. This popular myth that I somehow went into the garden and deceived this woman, Eve, or whatever her name is. That's just what it is. It's a myth. I just wanted to let people know what happened. I presented Eve with a rational choice between what this fellow God wanted and what was actually happening.
You are the father of lies, and all that you say is a lie.
Okay.
And you're lying now.
I do have a question for the slithering slewfoot Satan. I don't understand, you know.
I was wondering when you were going to get to me.
Here you are, and the Bible says that you were the seal of perfection. You were full of wisdom and of perfect beauty. You were the anointed cherub. What is wrong with you? Why did you give up your position? Here you are, close to God, and you gave up your position to become a slithering snake.
Oprah, that's a very good question, and I'm glad you asked it. I, for some time, was serving God, as a loyal servant, and, I was giving him everything that he wanted, and all I ever wanted was just to be appreciated, just to be recognized and have a little glory, too. Is that such a bad thing?
You wanted power.
Well,
Okay, let us stop right there. So all power, audience, all power belongs to God. And slithering, and we want to understand this slithering slime. Ooh.
I like your outfit.
I should not have worn red today, but it's good for the camera. You wanted power. And because God would not give you power, you decided to destroy and to deceive the human race so that they, in fact, could be caught up in your web of deception and end up with you, which is no place. Do you guys get that? If you follow Satan, you will end up no place?
I get it.
It's a little warm, I'll admit, but I mean, it's not totally uncomfortable.
We have another question over here. Yes. Could you speak up, please?
You said that Satan does what you tell him to do, but if he does, why do you tell him the bad things, man?
Very good question.
The bad things as you see them. I have sent him out to be indeed the tempter. He is indeed one who brings calamity to the earth, but man is choosing bad things. And what I choose for the good for all of eternity. In time, take you for example, I could wipe out all the bad things and all the selfish people in 1 minute's time. But in a minute's time, would you still be here? And would this room still be here? He would be gone, and all of those selfish and following in his train would be gone. But there's a better way. And that is choosing to obey God freely. I sent him out for a short time, and his time is short. They ask me all the time, I hear them praying to me, when will you end the war? Wherever the war is in the world. And I will end all wars. All wars I'll end. But not yet. There will be a time when there will be peace on earth. And men will do good things, always. But the time is not yet.
So, Jesus, so you're telling us that we have free will. TT, I believe that's your name in the audience.
That's his
Jesus,
name.
you know him, said, TT, Satan knows your name. You should want him not to know your name,
That
TT.
is his name. I know him from before the womb.
Jesus knows you. Isn't that beautiful, TT? Jesus knows you. Now let me understand, because I want everybody to really understand that Jesus says that we have free will, that he does not want robots. He doesn't want little clones. And we know what a clone is. That's somebody who looks like everybody else. Okay? The same, exactly. Thank you. And Jesus is saying he wants us to come unto him because we choose him. We choose goodness. We choose to be obedient to him. Jesus gives us choice. Do you think that Satan gives us a choice?
No.
Does he care about you?
No.
Does Satan care at all about you?
No.
Well, I have a question for my audience. Why is it then so easy for us to do the things that Satan says to do? When he whispers, his little demons whispers in our ears, and he says, follow your friends, do what your peers do, steal money, do things. Why do we do that? Why do we listen when we know that's wrong? If we know that he only wants to kill us. Do you guys, I'm really confused. Please, somebody help me here. Does anybody have an answer?
I want to say something.
You don't have an answer to that question? Can somebody please answer that question?
What was the question?
The question is, why is it easier for us to do evil, to do what Satan wants us to do?
I guess more people like to.
Because more people like to do evil?
No, because
Peer pressure.
Because of peer pressure?
like when you want to do something.
One at
for
a
God,
time, please. Audience. One at a time.
when you want to do something for God, I mean for the devil, you don't accept him in your heart and stuff, but for God you gotta accept him in your heart, and then you gotta after you do that, you gotta get in no more trouble and nothing. If you don't accept him, you can keep on doing it.
You can keep getting in trouble and possibly end up dead and burning in the pit of hell.
Yeah, it ain't peaceful down there with you.
It's not Okay. Break that down some more. Help us here. What does that mean? It means we're stubborn people.
Don't want to accept God in their heart and do God's will.
Oh, I see. So we keep saying that we don't want to accept Christ in our heart and we don't want to do His will. Maybe we need to understand, Master, could you tell us what that means to accept you in our heart? What would that mean?
When I asked my disciples to follow me, in essence, I was asking them to leave the life that they had made choices for. Certainly because of what happened in the garden, because of the deception of this one, and all that has happened through history, man has fallen. But each man makes choices after that. And what I'm asking my followers to do is to correct the big problem, to correct and make a good choice. Let's go back to the garden, is what I'm asking you to do. Back to the place of fellowship. And that's what has come down as the words Jesus and Christ in our hearts, is going back to the place of fellowship, meeting with God, spending time with Him. My Father is looking for worshipers, those who will lovingly communicate and obey Him. That's what it means to have Him in the heart, to meet with Him, to walk with Him.
So, and I want everybody to understand this. So Jesus is saying that when you accept Him in your heart, that, and correct me, sir, if I'm wrong, that there is a fellowship that takes place, a relationship. And how, I mean, we know about relationships down here. It's like, because I know that when TT gets his girlfriend, and TT, you know, when he wants to talk to his girlfriend, he calls her up all the time on the telephone. Isn't that correct? When you guys get your little boyfriends and girlfriends, you call them up on the telephone and you talk to them, right? Okay, you go around their house. And why do you go around their house? You want to spend time with them. You want to spend time with them. So Jesus is saying that in order for us to come to know Him, okay, everybody, be quiet. In order for us to come to know Him, we must do what?
Talk to Him.
We must talk to Him. Okay, we know this. We know we need to spend time with Him. We must talk to Him, and that will, in turn, give us a relationship with You.
I've given the world the family, the marriage relationship, husband and wife, father and child, as a picture of what it is to be with my Father. A father and his daughter and his son should have a relationship, being able to run and trust and believe one another in the same way. I've given this same picture, and my Father will be your Father, and you can have a relationship with Him.
Okay. Thank you, sir. We have a question, and we have another question. Let's go to this man first, and then we'll come back to you, sir.
I have a question for both of you. How come a lot of times it seems more fun not to be a Christian than to be a Christian? It seems like people who follow, what's his name over there, seem to be having more fun than the Christians. Why? And I want both of your sides. Why?
Very good
Well,
question.
since I'm being ignored, I'll go first, if you don't mind. You know, I'm tired of getting blamed for every bad thing that happens all the time. I mean, there's a war and they fault me. You know, someone stubs their toe and they say it's my fault. You know, someone falls in sin and I'm the blame. I'm not everywhere. I'm not everywhere all the time. You people have to take some responsibility for yourselves. Don't blame me all the time. I admit I do try and make things a little easy for people. I want people to have fun. I want people to enjoy themselves. I want people to perhaps take an easy route when some people would want them to go through things that are hard. I want to make it easy for people. So I think that's why people like me. And that's why they want to be with me.
I just want, and we have so many questions in the audience. Audience, we're going to get to you. But I just want to interject here, Satan, because I have a question. You know, we have been having a lot of our kids, 10, 11, 12, committing suicide. You're behind it, aren't you? let's go to these people in the audience because
Hey, hurry, bring it.
we will come to him and then we will get to everybody else. Yes?
Well, I'm talking to the little sleazeball. If you want the world to be peace and quite nice, why don't you stop doing the bad things and become one of Jesus' followers?
Well, I never said I wanted the world to be peaceful and quiet and nice. No, I said I wanted things to be nice for people. But parties are not peaceful and quiet or nice. Sometimes a little action is good and fun. And that's healthy, I think.
Okay.
Don't you?
Okay. Next question. We're going to get to everybody. Hold your questions. Yes?
I'm trying to say something to this whatever over here. Well, how come you trying to make the world be so plain and the Lord is trying to make the world be peaceful and not do drugs and all that kind of stuff? How come you trying to spoil it?
Well, such a pointed question. I am not trying to spoil things. I'm trying to make this world, first of all, this world is mine, okay? You must understand that. Okay, so I'm trying to make my world run like I want it to run, okay? I don't make anyone do drugs. I present a choice, and if a drug is what will make them feel good and happy and wonderful, so be it. I'll provide it, but I don't make them do it. I resent being accused all the time.
Okay, we have some other people, and I want you to be listening because the word that Jesus has been giving to us is choice. Choice. And even him, he's been saying, I place choices. Choices. So somewhere along the line, we need to make some right choices. Yes? You can go next, then you, and then you.
Okay. If you trying to make the world,
Okay.
if you trying to make the world so good, why are such bad things happening to you?
Who's that question directed to you? He doesn't want the world to be good. He wants us all to die and go to hell.
I'd like some company, Kathy.
Yes, he wants, that's his play.
I don't want to be in this company.
You don't,
It's not so bad. It's not so bad.
Okay.
Then I should join a little company.
Be quiet for a little while. Okay. Go ahead, stand up.
And see, they came, I command you to tell me why you really lie so much.
Why do you lie so much?
Why do I bend the truth?
No, why do you lie?
Why do you lie? Lie. Call it what it is.
Jesus said
You're a liar. You're the accuser.
I am the truth, the way, and the life. No man can come to the Father but through me. He has no other choice.
Okay.
This one, you believe. If you tired of being blamed for the bad things you're doing, why don't you stop doing it?
What's your name?
I ain't telling you. Don't worry about it.
You should know the word, thank God.
Well, first of all, I am blamed for a lot of things that I don't do. And a lot of people give me a bum rap, and I'm sick of it. And that's one of the reasons that I consented to come on this show, was to straighten out the record, set it straight.
And this was great a long time ago.
Okay. So we have a question over here.
I have a few statements.
Statement. Yes.
I don't understand one. Jesus already said that Satan is the father of lies. So why anything he says is going to be a lie? So how could we even believe him?
Believe him.
Good.
Then the other thing is he keeps saying that he presents choices, and then we choose, but he actually deceives, and he kind of pushes you into making the wrong choice.
Men are bad. Men are evil. God created men. Men are bad. Men are evil. They do bad and evil things. All the time. They do bad and evil things all the time. All the time.
we've called heaven, where me and my Father dwell. There many of you will be. Righteousness, peace, love, these things will dwell. This is the father of lies. To answer your question, why, how is it that evil can be, and it seems that people are having more enjoyment and more fun, wide is the way that leads to destruction. Many paths that lead to destruction, but narrow is the way that leads to life. Choices, it appears to be choices that he offers, but merely offers what a man's heart wants. I offer the way back to God. What man's heart really wants. And if you'll listen to your own heart, if you'll get quiet and cut off the noise that he keeps producing, if you'll cut down the lights that he keeps flashing in your eyes, if you'll put away some of the things that come at your ears, your eyes, the things you can smell, all the sweet smells, the things you can taste, the sensual ways that you can touch, if you can let this outer shell, this thing which is passing away, love for the flesh, which is contrary to love for the Father, if you can set those things aside and believe that the spirit of man can touch God and begin to tune in for the spirit to my spirit, you'll find a narrow road. And few there will be that will find it. If you expect me to make the gospel a simple way, I want you to remember how I left this earth. It wasn't because he killed me. I gave my life freely. I laid down my life upon the cross. He thought,
you told me we weren't going to talk about this.
Be
Sorry, deal. I'm not going to sit here for this.
He
This concludes.
He thought that he could kill the Prince of Glory and that he would indeed squelch the plan of God. But what he did not know, because he's carnal-minded, because he does not understand spiritual things, that he was indeed fulfilling the will of God. It was necessary that the blood of a righteous man be shed for the other men to be righteous. That was not an easy way for me. It cost me my life's blood for you. Therefore, the way to life, the way to fellowship in the Spirit is going to be a difficult one. You say your Bible is filled with don'ts. You shall not. Thou shalt not. Thou shalt not. And I have heard your accusations that you have listened to the liar. But I want you to think about it. If there are only 10 thou shalt nots, and all the rest are, you can. I've given you total liberty. But I've given you just a few simple rules that I only gave one to Eve and Adam in the garden. Just a few simple rules so that you could know me. To answer your question, my son Mark, wide is the road that leads to destruction, but narrow, and sometimes painful, with much cost is the road that leads to life. And few there will be that find it. I want to ask the question again. Will you come follow me? Will you come choose a road that is difficult in this life and is not pleasing to your flesh, your nostrils, your eyes, your ears, taste, but is pleasing to your spirit? Will you come and choose a life with me?
Yes.
I continually extend the invitation. Come. All you that are weary, that are heavy laden, I'll give you rest.
C'est beau,